after enduring so much pain? Is the dam of patience in your life about to break? Have failure, anxiety, and uncertainty consumed you, dear brother? Just think for a moment. What if each of these challenges is part of Allah's plan? It might mean that you've reached the limits of your patience. Your back is against the wall, and silently, He is preparing something extraordinary for you, something whose signs you might not yet recognize. As the Quran says, "Verily, with hardship comes ease. Verily, with hardship comes ease." 94:5-6. So, when you feel trapped, look around. Do these 7 crucial signs match your life? If they do, it's a signal that Allah is preparing you for something great. Watch till the end of the video. Music. Sometimes, challenges keep coming one after another, and it feels like everything is against you. But behind it all lies a divine plan. The Prophet ﷺ said, "When Allah wills good for His servant, He tests them with hardships in this world." Sahih Bukhari 5645. Now, listen to what the Quran says. "We will surely test you with fear, hunger, loss of wealth, lives, and fruits. But give glad tidings to the patient those who, when struck by calamity, say, 'Indeed, we belong to Allah, and to Him we shall return.'" Surah Al-Baqarah 155-156. Remember the story of Hazrat Bilal. In the early days of Islam, he faced brutal torture, but never abandoned his faith. Even when he was pressed under scorching desert stones and whipped, his only words were, "Ahad, Ahad, Allah is one." Allah rewarded his patience by making him Islam's first muazzin. On the Day of Judgment, his voice will rise above all, and he will be honored as the greatest caller to prayer. Maybe you're going through a tough time right now like Bilal, with a heavy burden on your chest, while even those who should support you are adding to your pain. But remember, these trials aren't meant to break you. Just like gold is purified by fire, Allah is shaping you for something greater. Here are the 7 signs that Allah is preparing you for something big. 1. Challenges. Keep coming, one after another. Life is a continuous test of patience and perseverance. When Allah intends to raise a person's status, He subjects them to trials that strengthen their faith and purify their heart. These challenges may come in various forms: difficulties, illnesses, or emotional distress, but each serves a divine purpose. The Prophet Muhammad (SAW) reassured believers by saying, "A believer is not afflicted with fatigue, illness, or distress, except that Allah forgives their sins." Sahih Bukhari 5641. This means that hardships are not punishments, but opportunities for spiritual growth and forgiveness. Facing repeated trials can be exhausting, yet they refine a person's character. Just as gold is purified through fire, a believer's faith is strengthened through adversity. Every difficulty endured with patience brings one closer to Allah and erases past mistakes. The key is to remain steadfast, trusting that Allah's wisdom surpasses human understanding. Moreover, challenges teach humility and reliance on Allah. When one obstacle is overcome, another may arise, ensuring continuous self-improvement. The believer who remains patient and grateful during hardships earns Allah's pleasure and mercy. As the Quran states, "Indeed, with hardship comes ease." 94:6. Thus, trials are temporary, but the rewards of patience are eternal. In essence, life's struggles are not meant to break us, but to build us. By enduring them with faith, we emerge stronger, wiser, and closer to Allah. Each challenge is a stepping stone toward a higher spiritual rank, reminding us that true success lies in perseverance and trust in Allah's plan. 2. You start letting go of things that don't benefit you. As you grow closer to Allah, you begin to lose interest in things that once distracted you, whether it's toxic relationships, wasteful habits, or empty desires. This is not a coincidence. It's a sign of divine guidance. Allah says in the Quran, "Perhaps you dislike something that is good for you, and you love something that is bad for you. Allah knows, and you do not." Surah Al-Baqarah 2-2:16. When Allah removes something from your life, it is not a loss, but a protection. You may feel sadness or confusion at first, but later you realize how those very things were holding you back. The Prophet, Salam, said, "If Allah intends good for someone, He afflicts them with trials." Bukhari. These trials often come in the form of detachment from worldly distractions, redirecting you toward what truly matters. Letting go is a process of purification. When you stop chasing what harms your faith, Allah replaces it with something better, stronger iman, healthier connections, and a heart more attached to Him. Trust in His wisdom, for He knows what you do not. What feels like a loss today may be the very reason for your success tomorrow. So if you find yourself naturally walking away from what doesn't serve you, take it as a blessing. Allah is clearing your path, making space for His mercy and guidance. Embrace the change and have faith that He will replace what was taken with something far greater. 3. Your patience grows stronger. One of the greatest signs that Allah is elevating you is the strengthening of your patience. Hardships are not meant to break you but to refine your endurance, just as fire purifies gold. The story of Prophet Ayub, A.S., is a powerful reminder of this truth. Despite enduring 18 years of severe illness, loss, and hardship, he remained steadfast in his faith. In the end, Allah not only restored his health, but also multiplied his blessings manifold. And we granted him his family and a like number with them as a mercy from us, and a reminder for those of understanding. Surah 38-43. When you notice that trials no longer shake you, as they once did, it is a sign that Allah is preparing you for something greater. Patience is not passive, sufferingit is an active trust in Allah's plan. The Prophet, Salam, said, "How wonderful is the affair of the believer. His affairs are all good. If something good happens to him, he is grateful, and that is good for him. If something bad happens to him, he is patient, and that is good for him." Muslim, each test you endure with patience strengthens your faith, deepens your reliance on Allah, and increases your reward. So when difficulties persist, remember, Allah is not testing you to destroy you. He is preparing you for a greater blessing. Just as Prophet Ayub, A.S., was rewarded after his long trial, your patience too will lead to divine relief and elevation. Trust the process, for Allah's timing is perfect. 4. Repeated failures before success. Every setback you face may actually be a setup for a greater comeback. The story of Prophet Yusuf, As, is a profound example betrayed by his brothers, thrown into a well, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and imprisoned for years. Yet, through every hardship, Allah was preparing him for an extraordinary destiny. Thus we established Yusuf in the land, to settle therein, wherever he willed. We bestow our mercy on whom we please, and we do not let the reward of the doers of good go to waste. Surah Yusuf 12:56. What seemed like endless suffering was, in reality, a divine path to kingship. His trials refined his wisdom, strengthened his faith, and positioned him to save nations from famine. If you're experiencing repeated failures, rejections, disappointments, or delays, don't lose hope. Allah is teaching you resilience, humility, and trust in His plan. The Prophet, Salam, said, "Know that victory comes with patience, relief with distress, and ease with hardship." Tirmidhi, your struggles today may be the very experiences you'll need for your success tomorrow. Just as Yusuf, A.S., rose from the darkness of the well to the light of leadership, your perseverance through difficulties could be leading you to a victory far greater than you imagine. Keep going, your breakthrough may be closer than you think. 5. Certain people drift away from your life. As you grow closer to Allah, you may notice some relationships fading not by coincidence, but by divine design. The Prophet, Salam, warned, "A person follows the religion of their close friend, so be careful whom you befriend." Sunan Abi Dawud 4833. When Allah removes certain people from your life, it is not a loss, but a protection. Toxic friendships, draining associations, or those who pull you away from your faith may naturally distance themselves. At first, it may feel lonely, but this is Allah's mercy clearing your path for healthier, more uplifting connections. The Quran reminds us, "And the day the wrongdoer will bite on his hands, saying, 'Oh, I wish I had taken with the messenger away. Oh, woe to me. I wish I had not taken that one as a friend. Surah Al-Furqan, 25-27, -28. When Allah takes someone out of your life, trust that He is replacing them with something better, people who inspire your faith, encourage your growth, and reflect the sincerity you strive for. If you find yourself surrounded by fewer faces but purer hearts, know that Allah is aligning your relationships with your destiny. Embrace the change, for He only removes what He intends to replace with something greater. 6. You start meeting the right people. When Allah elevates you, He doesn't just remove harmful influences, He replaces them with those who inspire, support, and strengthen your faith. Suddenly, you cross paths with people who encourage your growth, share your values, and reflect the sincerity you strive for. This is no coincidence. It's divine alignment, the Quran tells us. And hold firmly to the rope of Allah altogether, and do not become divided. And remember the favor of Allah upon you when you were enemies. He united your hearts, so that by His grace you became brothers. Surah Ali, Imran 3-103. Just as Allah united the hearts of the believers in brotherhood, He blesses you with companionship that uplifts your soul. The Prophet, Salam, said, "The believer to the believer is like a solid structure, one part supporting the other." Bukhari and Muslim. When you find such people, those who remind you of Allah, advise you with wisdom, and stand by you in trials, recognize it as a sign of Allah's favor. If Allah has brought sincere, righteous people into your life, cherish them. They are a gift, a means of spiritual growth, and a reflection of His mercy. Trust that He connects you with those who align with your destiny, because when He writes your story, He ensures you're surrounded by those who help you fulfill it. 7. You feel a strong urge to move forward. Allah says, "Do not weaken or grieve, for you will be superior if you are true believers." Surah Al-Imran, 139. If you feel a pull to leave the past behind, it's a divine nudge toward your next chapter. If even one of these signs resonates with you, rejoice, Allah is molding you for something extraordinary. If all 7 match your life, know that you are on the brink of a major blessing. Share this with someone who needs it.